Hey there, it's Jen.
And Alka, and welcome back to the fourth video in our 5-part series. And we are talking about the 5 strategies that Jen and I have used in order to sell over $15 million worth on the Zazzle platform, and has helped our clients sell over $165 million on the platform. 93 million of that in the last year, which is in the last 12 months, which is we're doing this recording in November of 2024. So I think that these strategies kind of work. And this one, this is why I started this particular video with this, because this is all about alignment with your goals and your mindset. And the one and only thing that you first have to do is believe that you can do it. The second thing is you have to believe in a system that you are going to align with and attract and go along with, i.e., for example, our coaching program, where you say, if these strategies worked for all these other people, I can do this too by using the 5 strategies. If you get there, then your world is your oyster, because you've accepted it, you've allowed it, you're letting it happen. And before that, it's just an idea. But now you have an idea, a goal, and an action plan. That is alignment. And to help you understand that more, we'll go into some more details in terms of how to run your business and align it, etc. But if you don't have that locked in, then unfortunately, even if we give you the strategies and we give you everything and access to our Profit by Design Academy for free, it's still not going to work. And in fact, there were times where we did a lot of scholarship type things. None, if not just maybe 1% or 2% of the people who got it for free got any results, even 5-6 years later. And yet the Profit by Design Academy works incredibly well for those people that have skin in the game and who believe that it's possible. So having said that, we want to get into some of the bits and pieces for using the aligned strategy number 4 for the manipulation and management of your business. But if you're not coming to the table with A, it's going to work for me, and B, skin in the game because you have the accountability, it's not going to work at all. So that alignment has to start first, and that has to be the first hurdle that you overcome. And then we go into the details. So let's get started with this, Jen. And I think you can probably give the best example, because when you first started out, you saw me, you saw that it was working for me, you wanted to replicate the same. And not that you couldn't do it, because you're very smart, very talented. You have like the Midas touch. Whenever you do a design, it just works. I'm struggling with designs. I had to really work hard. But initially, you didn't want your mom to tell you what to do. And because of that, you tried to figure it out on your own. And then only once you realized, okay, this didn't work on your own per se, just because you hadn't done it before. It's not because you couldn't do it. It's just because you didn't know how. And then you said, now I'm going to take this route and give that a shot. And when you did, it didn't stop you from saying, I'm a failure because I couldn't do it before. It was just like, I'm still able to do it. I just didn't know how. And now that I'm going to get the help and advice from mom, which was the beginning of building out the 5 strategies, then it started to click, right? And then you understood what you need to do. You also understood what you didn't need to do. And then it started to, the money started rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you finish from there.
Well, I think too, because strategy number 4 is align with your Zazzle goals and your mindset. Although not very many people like to, or even understand really what mindset is and like to talk about it, it is something that really affects the way that you work and also the way that you think you can work. Part of my issue when I first started out on Zazzle, and I think that this can resonate with a lot of people, was that I didn't have the confidence in myself to become a Zazzle designer. I mean, I learned skill sets and I never actually took any educational, courses or anything that were official, right? I didn't go to university I went to university for business, but I actually ended up dropping out in my second year. But I didn't go to university for graphic design or for anything to do with what I now do on the Zazzle platform. And so that hurdle of trying to make sure that I have that confidence and feel like I had the proper skill sets took a little bit of work. And that's where the mindset and also like setting your Zazzle goals come in, because they work hand in hand. I didn't want to set my Zazzle goals because I didn't have the proper positive mindset, but I didn't have the proper positive mindset because I didn't think that I was, worthy enough of setting my Zazzle goals. So they kind of like interchanged, where they, with Elka's help throughout my journey, I realized that it was just all in my head in terms of what my capabilities are and the obstacles that I needed to overcome, allowing me to have the confidence in myself and also have the accountability too, right? I needed to learn how to do things on my own. I looked up YouTube videos on how to do Photoshop. I looked up YouTube videos on how to do proper design, and I researched what my trend was and my niche, right? I went into the wedding market. And so back then, when both Elke and I first started out on Zazzle, YouTube really didn't exist for business opportunities and business strategy, right? And so that's why at the end of the day, Elke and I decided to also become coaches, because there was really nothing out there in terms of how to become a Zazzle business owner. And part of that was making sure that we had that positive mindset, that we felt confident that I could, or me personally, because I can speak for myself, that I could set my Zazzle goals and actually feel confident that I could make them. And this ties in. And if you haven't watched the first strategy or the second strategy or the third strategy, we've recorded those videos for you on YouTube here. And all of those combined to now come and accumulate to strategy number 4, which is aligned, which is setting your Zazzle goals, because now you know to focus in on your avatar, to focus in on your intentional products, and also to understand how to promote and create products that are intentional. And that all helps with the mindset of feeling confident moving forward to now allowing you to set your Zazzle goals. Because if all of a sudden you just start out on Zazzle as a complete newbie and say, I'm going to make $10,000 a month, well, that seems extremely overwhelming, because you have no proven plan and you have no direction and you have no idea how the heck you're even going to earn $10,000 a month. And so that's where I was at my first beginning of my Zazzle journey, was that I had big dreams and big goals, because I only saw the outcome, right? I wanted to travel. I wanted to be freedom, like time and location freedom. I just wanted to be an early teenager, or a teenager going into her early 20s, to just be free and a nomad and just have no responsibilities. And so I wanted, a certain amount of money, but I didn't realize that that also came with all of these business ownership skill sets that I needed to hone in on, right? And I think that hits home with a lot of people, especially if you're coming out of, a different profession, a 9 to 5 job, or even if you're younger like myself, who I was very nervous about being in, university and finding a career. And so Zazzle allowed me that freedom, but it also gave me the opportunity to really focus in on who I was as a person and as a designer and a business owner, and switch my mindset to be a positive one, so that I felt like I could move forward and actually achieve my goals. And that's where the secret sauce comes in, or that, that whatever you want to call it, where the universe tells you it's okay, we can do this, because you're working on your mindset, and you're working on the fact that you are your own person who's going to make the decisions for you, right? You are your business owner, and then also the one person who is the most important asset in your business. And if you don't believe in yourself, then unfortunately, many people can say, oh, hey, you can do it, but they're not going to do it for you. And that's the hard lesson that I had to learn, where it's like, oh, I actually need to take responsibility. you know
Yeah, it's not just fun and games, right? But it's still fun. It's just you have to just take it seriously, right?
yeah.
Then, and I think it was fabulously said. I don't even know if I want to say much else afterwards, but I do want to point out very quickly that Jen put up hit on a point that's super, super important. Every single thing that happens in your business is up to you, because you're the one that decides when you work, how often you work, what products you put up, when you do it, your choices as to what you believe is possible. And all of these things are tied into mindset. So if you have a limiting money belief, if you have a worthiness belief that's not so healthy, if you have any sort of understanding that, even something to do with money, like there's so many varieties of money issues, right? Either even success, which was actually interesting for me, is a success money belief where there's more fears associated with success than there are with fears being poor, because success means so many different things can happen that change your life, and maybe you're actually worried about some of those as to how that's going to happen. And it's so fascinating to get into this, and because of that, we've actually created a mindset call that's going to be it is already part of our Profit by Design Academy every month. And we've had some fabulous discussions in there, along with people switching and helping them understand and see where they're blocked. Because, the first thing I would have said is, I don't have any mindset blocks. And same with Jen. It's like, I don't have a problem. I don't have a mindset, because we associate problem with mindset if it's a negative issue or something like that. But what we really want you to understand is that every person has mindset issues. And we don't even really want to call them issues. We just want to say these are standing in your way, and it's okay to have them because you inherited them. You got them from people that you talked to. Your grade 4 teacher that said this, your mom that said that, your dad that struggled all his life to work hard for money, and now you're making his income in 1 month, and you just kind of get really nervous because how is that going to affect him? All of these things are sitting there stopping you even before you know that you're thinking them or understand that you're believing them, and they're making you act in a certain way, and most of the time self-sabotaging your ability to just get the job done and achieve the things you actually want to do, because otherwise you would have already done them, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought you were capable, found some place, like something that would make you have it happen, whether it's researching on YouTube or getting help from coaches, etc. But since you're where you're at, or let's say you're right at the beginning with Zazzle, then it might be a little bit different, but it's still a big deal, right? Starting an online business, using a platform you don't know, and there's a lot of things that come along with that. So if 3 months in, you're not doing so well, it's mindset. It's strategy number 4. And the most important thing is just to be in a positive, non-judgmental, oh my gosh,
Non-judgmental.
non-judgmental community where there's no judgment. Everything's okay because you're just on a journey. We're always here to support. And because of that, you get to talk about it. You get to think about it. You get to hear other people's perspective, and then you get to make some decisions and see. And we also have some really cool tools that we get you to use as well. But the main thing is that decision that, okay, this is going to happen, even though I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know this is where my future is. And that gives me goosebumps, because if that's the case with you, then you're already halfway there, not even probably more than halfway there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that wraps up strategy number 4. Go and watch the other strategies that we've recorded on our YouTube channel. Also, there is a really great downloadable that is completely free, and it's in the description of this video below. You can click that link, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.